What is up, Black Squad? Blackscape here, and today I have the pleasure of reviewing a brand new Dragon Ball fan manga. This one is called Dragon Ball Raido, and I'm going to leave a link to its Twitter page in the description below in the top comment. Go ahead and follow it if you guys are enjoying this story. Make sure to support this manga and that artist. Today we tell the story of Dragon Ball between the Frieza arc and the android arc right after Goku comes back from planet Yardrat. This is a completely parallel version to exactly what the events were in the Dragon Ball Z anime, so it's something you've never seen before. So let's go ahead and begin and enjoy this brand new story. I want to thank Hot Sauce Trainer for sponsoring today's video. Would you like to train your taste buds like Goku trains in the Room of Spirit and Time, or Vegeta trains in the Gravity Chamber? Well, today I have some great news for you because I have not only the perfect trainer, but also the perfect present for your father on Father's Day. The Hot Sauce Trainer kit includes 4 hot sauces ranging from 300 to 1 million Scoville heat, as well as a training regimen and instructions taking your dad's taste buds to the level over 9,000. Literally. This box is insane. It's got great artwork, such a sleek design. As soon as you open it up, you get 4 awesome hot sauces, and you get hot sauce training finger tape for those especially long training sessions. The most standard one is Tapatio. This one is delicious. It's just Tapatio, and you can't go wrong with it. Mexico Lindo Habanera had such a great deep flavor. Definitely a little bit more spicy than Tapatio, but nothing you can't handle. Definitely a level up. Smokin' Mary, Smokin' Mary. This one so far is my favorite. It's got such a rich wood flavored taste, like eating at a barbecue. It's just so delicious, and this one has a kick to it, has some bite to it, but definitely worth coming back to again and again. Pure poison hot sauce is what it is. It's just pure poison. This is the hottest one at 1 million Scovilles. This one definitely charred my taste buds, but I would not have been able to try it if I didn't train myself with the other 3. Check my link in the description below. Use code BLACKSKIP to get 25% off your order and receive a complimentary hot sauce training finger tape. This is one Father's Day gift Shenron couldn't give you even if he tried. A casual wind blows beyond the mountains as a lizard scurries on, scurrying past Goku's boot. Unbeknownst to it, it's standing in front of a powering up Super Saiyan as Goku begins to bring out the inner power within him, the power he learned on planet Namek, and transforms, to the lizard's demise, into a Super Saiyan. Struggling to maintain the form and power up, Goku is snapped out of it when he hears Gohan right behind him yell, "Wow, awesome!" as Goku turns around and sees that Gohan has been watching the entire time. "You can turn into Super Saiyan so easily now." Goku admits it is easy, but unfortunately the transformation gets more painful every time he transforms. He feels the pain directly in his heart. Goku reassures his son that when he masters Super Saiyan, Gohan will be the next to transform. He will train him and teach him the ways of the Saiyans. But Gohan doesn't believe this for a minute. There's no way that his mom will let him train, and ignores schoolwork, and that is when Goku realizes that he was supposed to help Chi-Chi prepare dinner today. Now she's going to kick his ass. Later that night during dinner, a frustrated Chi-Chi tells Gohan that he needs to focus on algebra problems before he goes to bed, and then she will correct them after she's done washing dishes. But Goku cuts her off entirely, telling her that no, you sit right there, I will wash the dishes, feeling a little bit guilty that he didn't complete his portion of the workload and didn't help her out with dinner. While chowing down on some delicious homemade ramen, Gohan begins to realize that there is a trail of blood heading off in the direction of his father. And that's when both Chi-Chi and Gohan are startled to hear Goku call them out and tell them that it's probably nothing, but I think I have a problem, with blood spurting out of his mouth, and Goku drops all the dirty dishes. The dishes smash and Goku on top of them, knocked out cold, Gohan and Chi-Chi calling out to him, trying to get him to wake up, and Goku is completely immobilized with blood pouring out of his mouth. Goku is in a world of trouble. After hearing what happened with Goku, all his friends and family go to his house to check up on him and see exactly what is going on. As Bulma enters the room and everyone jumps on her asking how he's doing, and she's honestly shocked. It keeps getting worse. His heart is in very bad condition. She's never seen a virus this extreme. She needs additional analysis to be able to help him. That's when Krillin jumps into the house yelling, "I got them." Apologizing for the weight, Krillin holds what could only be Goku's test results so that way everyone can know exactly what's going on. Bulma reads them intrigued and then surprised and then in shocking horror. What is it, Bulma? What does it say? The virus is a strain currently unknown. There is no cure, to the shock of everyone. First of all, I want to applaud Raido for the artwork in this, because if you guys haven't noticed, the artwork looks very much like Akira Toriyama. This is something that is mentioned at the beginning of this manga in the prequel. The artist of Raido says that he took a couple of images from the manga and repurposed them for his manga because he's trying to train himself to become a better artist. Even if that's the case, which 100% for me, I'm fine with, as long as you admit it, as long as you give credit, and as long as you're just using it to better your own craft and become a better artist. But to me, I mean, you'd have to take like every single panel from the manga and repurpose it, because this looks exactly like the manga. 110%. The artwork here is just so well done. It's hard to believe that this isn't your own style, honestly, and I applaud this. This is a great work right here. I love it. Yamcha and Tien come out of the woodwork here with some positivity because they have two solutions for exactly what they could do for Goku at this moment. Yamcha says that Bulma can build him an artificial heart. It's a piece of cake for Bulma to do this. And Tien has a better option, and that is to gather the Dragon Balls. Now, they can't resurrect Goku, but they can cure him. That's 100% possible. Bulma is not convinced. Krillin encourages her, "Listen, there's enough people in this room right now to find the Dragon Balls in one day. We can do this today. It's an end stage virus. We barely have 2 hours left." Everyone at this point is completely flabbergasted. This virus is so violent, so extreme, that it is killing Goku faster than he can heal himself through Saiyan biology, faster than they can get the Dragon Balls to help him heal and cure the virus within him. Goku seems like a goner. What will they do? What will the Z Fighters do to cure Goku in this parallel world spin-off? Gohan stands shocked. Only 2 hours. That's not enough time for Goku to stay with the living, let alone any time for them to get any help for him, including the Dragon Balls. With the rest of the Z Fighters understandably upset, Vegeta is out of there. He doesn't want any part of this. Remember, in the original version of this, in the Trunks special, Vegeta was upset that Goku was sick and that he passed away, and so I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. Piccolo returns and he has brought one Senzu Bean. Now, the Senzu Bean only regenerates damaged tissue. It won't cure Goku, but Bulma theorizes that regenerating his damaged infected cells could prolong his life until tonight, giving the Z Fighters a few precious hours to find the Dragon Balls in order to wish away the illness. But the Z Fighters are arguing amongst themselves because even Tien doesn't believe that only a few hours is enough time for them to go and find every single Dragon Ball. I think that this is a feat for new Dragon Ball Super. I think with the speeds and everything, I think they could find the Dragon Balls very easily. The old DBZ Dragon Ball really honestly would be at a disadvantage, a heavy disadvantage at that. Chi-Chi slams the door and yells at all of them to shut up. She's furious that Goku is in excruciating pain, and all they want to do is prolong that pain and try to find a cure, but not having a actual decisive plan to do that. There's no point and keeping him in this pain if they can't cure him at all. And Chi-Chi has had it up to here with the sensu beans, and she grabs the one and throws it on the ground, stomping on it, crushing it, and ending the sensu bean debate right there and then. Gohan and Yamcha are furious at Chi-Chi, but Krillin agrees with her. They don't want Goku to suffer like that, and they may have to just accept the fact that Goku is going to die. And as they all come to that foreboding conclusion, the house is interrupted by Mr. Popo. A few of them recognize Mr. Popo, but a few of them don't. This is early Dragon Ball Z, so they don't have much experience with Mr. Popo or Kami's Lookout. At least the majority of the Z fighters don't. And Popo asks them to follow him to Kami's Lookout, as Roshi remarks that this is an unexpected opportunity. Excited as to what the news could be that's coming from Kami's Lookout, all of them start cheering in glee and head over to Kami's Lookout, following Popo in the process. The Z fighters arrive on Kami's Lookout, and you can tell that they have either never been there or it's been quite a while since they've been there. This is the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, so it's definitely different than Dragon Ball Z toward the end of Dragon Ball Super, where they're literally constantly at Kami's Lookout, and this in this manga feels like a much more sacred place. Piccolo even warns them, "We are in the sanctuary of Earth's gods. Behave well." And Kami comes out greeting his new arrivals. He tells them that he made them come here because there is a way for them to save Goku. With everyone being excited about this news, Kami explains that this solution is Mr. Popo's idea. As Guardian of Earth, he can't interfere with any of these problems, which is something that he lets go of down the line in Dragon Ball Z. But Earth owes Son Goku a debt of gratitude, so there is no time. This is what needs to be done. Popo begins to explain the hyperbolic time chamber, or the room of spirit and time. It is where Goku went to train as a boy. It is a training ground in another location. He says its size seems infinite, living conditions are extremely tough, and each day outside the room equals 1 year inside. To everyone being shocked that this is a thing, this is well before the Android Saga, or at least the Cell Saga, so of course they don't know anything about the Room of Spirit and Time as of yet. They're not using it like their own personal training ground like it later becomes. This is much more of a spiritual and mysterious place. And this is where the bombshell comes into play. Mr. Popo explains that even though the room seems immense, in reality it is not infinite. There is a world outside of its borders. To everyone's shock, even Piccolo, they did not know about this other world in the hyperbolic time chamber. But let me be clear, Mr. Popo explains, that no one has succeeded in reaching this plane, this new dimension, this new world. And he's basically saying this because he's trying to explain how hard and difficult this journey possibly could be. The world is called the Everlasting Winter, and it's the kingdom of Odin, the Supreme Kai of Winter. We are way before Supreme Kais are even mentioned in DBZ, so that's probably why everybody is shocked. The Supreme Kais are the creators of everything and the most powerful beings in the universe. Nowadays there's only one left, but millions of years ago they were numerous. At the time, Odin, the most evil of the Supreme Kais, tried to take power over our universe. To stop him, all the Supreme Kais split our dimension and trapped him in a bubble universe. The hyperbolic time chamber is the sealed bridge between our two worlds. Odin must have transformed this prison into his kingdom, reigning as the almighty god of an icy world. This plan seems a lot more treacherous than any of the other ones they had come up with, and it doesn't really explain how to save Goku. So Mr. Popo continues, "In this world lives Ear, the Supreme Kai of Medicine. Before the split of our universe, Odin imprisoned Ear and forced him to create the Water of Urdur, the Water of Immortality, the cure to death itself." Isn't that what Garlic Jr. was looking for? Something along those lines? I don't know, I haven't watched Dead Zone in a minute. So Piccolo states the obvious. If this universe holds one of the most powerful evil beings who ever lived, this can't be good. Reach the border of the hyperbolic time chamber, enter the world of everlasting winter, find and save the Supreme Kai Ear, and you will have a chance to save Son Goku. It's like, how far will you really go to save Goku? Will you let him die and that be on your hands? That's exactly what happened in some universes. So this is almost like a multiverse event here. What are you going to do? Honestly, I feel like trying to find Namek and using those Dragon Balls to bring Goku back probably might be a lot easier than this, saving a Supreme Kai of Time, facing off against an evil being, going to a land no one's reached. It seems really, really dangerous. But Mr. Popo wants to make everything crystal clear before they make their decision. 1 minute here equals 6 hours on the other side. So if you leave in 1 hour, you will have about 15 days to find Ear and save Son Goku. The hyperbolic time chamber is the only connection between the two worlds. It will be your only entry and exit point in the whole universe. The two worlds have been separated millions of years ago. Nobody knows what you will find on the other side. It makes you think, because didn't Gotenks destroy the entrance of the hyperbolic time chamber, trapping Buu inside? I guess that's just a tried and true plan of trapping evil spirits inside things that you can't defeat. Accept the most biting cold you can imagine, and an evil being with unrivaled powers in our universe. The world of everlasting winter is out of reach of Shenron's power or any gods in our universe. Don't expect any help, communication, or resurrection. If you die on the other side, space and time of the two dimensions are mutually exclusive. In other words, disappearing on the other side will erase any trace of your existence here forever. This is a tall order, I must say. I've seen Dragon Ball missions through either the main anime and manga, and more specifically at least hundreds at this point, multiple hundreds of fan mangas and fan animations, and this is probably the hardest mission that I've seen to date. It seems very hostile and with a very low chance of success. I can't wait. It's a suicide mission. You guys like my Yamcha impression? Yeah, that's what I believe Yamcha was sounding like when he said this. I would do anything to save Goku, but it's a really long shot. Blindly diving in the nightmare, our rate of success is close to 0. Goku would never agree to let one of us die to save his life. So that's it? Shit! It looks like they're all speaking sense. Goku wouldn't want this for anybody. He'd just want to die, honestly, and go to King Kai's planet and train. That's like the main crux of this whole thing, is that Goku really wouldn't want to be resurrected, ideally. He wants to go and train more for years and years and years. Understood. You made your choice. I invite you to go back home. This palace is a sacred place. Please leave now. Wow, completely different vibe, Kami's Lookout, than it was back in the day. Or, I mean, in the future, Dragon Ball Z, because this is more like you guys were invited to hear this, you guys are not going to do it, get off my lawn. To the surprise of everyone, Gohan says, I'll go. Gohan, being the triple OG MC of early Dragon Ball Z, says he wants to take the risk. Chi-Chi absolutely forbids it, but Gohan tells her, I'm sorry, but he has to go. I don't know why, but I think I know I can save him. To Chi-Chi's crying fit on top of Bulma, like actually immediately giving up on this idea of letting her son almost die, maybe never to be seen again. I really think that in the characterization of Chi-Chi, I love the artwork and I love each character, the way they are initiated here, but I feel like Chi-Chi, who just destroyed the Senzu Bean to not prolong Goku's life, I do think that Chi-Chi would not let Gohan go. That's just the way I see it. Kami, I will find this ear guy and bring back a cure to save my dad. You seem determined. Alright, gather your friends, Mr. Popo. We'll take you to the hyperbolic time chamber in 1 hour. Good luck, son of Son and Goku. So Gohan's going on his own? Why doesn't anybody else go? He's done a bunch if he goes on his own, these guys are a bunch of pussies, man. They could have absolutely have gone. This is crazy. If Gohan goes on his own, he's not even close to being able to. Okay. If he goes on his own and comes back like all like awesome and buff and like with like a sword or something and a scar across his eye and looking all badass and much more powerful, that would be a really cool continuation to this story. To have a buffed up Gohan go into the Android Saga, that'd be really interesting to see. Gohan is going into the unknown to find the Supreme Kai of Medicine and save them from the evil Kaioshin of the hyperbolic time chamber. If you missed any part of this manga, I'm gonna leave a link to the last video. That way you guys can go ahead and be caught up to this part, because this is the finale up to this point. So let's go ahead and jump into the new chapter and see exactly what Gohan has to go through to get the medicine for Goku. Let's jump in. The doors open to the hyperbolic time chamber, and characters that we've never seen in here walk in for the first time, noticing how empty and lonely it is, but at the same time realizing if the door closed, it would turn into 10 times the gravity of Earth, which is far more than most of these Dragon Ball Z characters, the Z Squad, can handle themselves. Gohan goes on his journey alone as Mr. Popo gives him some supplies that will last him a week. Remember, he only has 15 days, and Bulma also gives him some capsules that include a house, a bike, some clothes, and food for 6 months, just in case. Outdoing Mr. Popo entirely. Chi-Chi sobs into Gohan's hair, not wanting her baby boy to go on a suicide mission, but at the same time chastising the rest of the Z Squad, who won't even go with him on this journey, which I find ridiculous. Krillin looks on to Gohan, proud of the boy, the man that he's become, and then Vegeta cuts that tension right out by saying that he is stupid. It's not confidence, it is stupidity. But Vegeta may have a point, because this is dubbed a suicide mission by Yamcha, so there is very little chance of success. As Gohan steps out a few feet into the hyperbolic time chamber, he stops cold, to everyone's shock. Everyone's surprised. What is going on? What's going on with Gohan? Is this supposed to happen when you get too far out into the time chamber? Are you supposed to pause? And they all realize that something is wrong, because he actually paused mid-walk. Gohan is at his breaking point. His confidence, his bravery has its limits, and now he's realizing the trek that he has to go on alone is almost too much for him to bear. Remember, this is early Dragon Ball Z Gohan. He's not as brave as he eventually becomes, and that's when he feels a hand on his shoulder. Piccolo is there, as he always is, and smiles to him, and I think you know what that means. He's gonna go with Gohan and escort him to go find this doctor, the only one of the Z fighters that actually decided to step up. Gohan asks Piccolo for a change of clothing. He wants the same outfit like his dad, and Piccolo has that special finger, that special clothes finger, so he obliges, giving Gohan, early Z Gohan, an outfit that looks just like Goku, but long sleeve and a turtleneck. At least it looks like a turtleneck, so it looks like Goku, but it looks like it's gonna be like something similar to more like Goten has. I like it, I dig it. I like this little outfit on him, and actually I've never seen this outfit on this version of Gohan before, so this is definitely a visual treat. They walk into the unknown, and at the last moment Piccolo decided to join Gohan on this perilous quest, reach the mysterious world of everlasting winter, and find Iru, the supreme Kai of medicine. What's behind this endless horizon? Is Son Goku already doomed, or is there slightly chance for all this story to be true? Let's find out. As Vegeta smirks and says, see, there's always a solution. He didn't have to really get involved or get teary-eyed over the demise of Goku, not at his hands. So yeah, Vegeta always knew there was going to be a way to pull through, although that doesn't happen in every universe. Gohan, being candid as always with Piccolo, he thanks him for coming, because if Piccolo didn't come, Gohan doesn't think he would have been able to go. Piccolo thanks him. You took that first step, so I could take that first step. I should be thanking you. With an admission of guilt, Gohan tells Piccolo that he hasn't trained since Namek, so he's extremely weak. But Piccolo says, don't worry, there will be time to train you. I will train you, and when you come back, you will be the strongest warrior. Gohan says, nope, my dad is the strongest, and Piccolo agrees with him. I'm wondering now, because as soon as the door closes, that is when the gravity goes to 10 times. And I don't know if they can do, I mean, maybe Piccolo at this point, but I don't think Gohan can do 10 times gravity unless they just leave the door open the entire time and then the gravity doesn't activate. Not exactly sure, but I'm hoping they address that, because that's a huge part of the room and they already talked about it earlier. We get a bit of a time skip here where there is the house that Bulma gave Gohan, But you see that now there is a horizon, there's stars everywhere. It looks quite different than the hyperbolic time chamber that we know, and days have gone by as they push back the horizon, trying to get to the boundary of the world. Another day of long travels, and you see that Gohan here is flying while sleeping at the same time. Don't know if I've ever seen that before ever in non-Dragon Ball canon, or canon for that matter, but Piccolo says, look, the terrain, it's changing. And you see here at the bottom, the tiles are beginning to float from the floor. So they may be getting to something different. They may be getting to the edge. Gohan, ever the thinker, realizes that the floor is getting dislocated even more and more, almost like it's attracted to, and they reach the end. We now know what is at the end of the hyperbolic time chamber, and it is a black, unescapable hole. And it's distorting time and all the physical objects all around it. This is probably the entrance to the world of winter, of everlasting winter. It doesn't really look like a portal, it's more like a huge energy orb, but it's not energy, it's more of a presence that's just there. Piccolo tests out a blast and shoots one away from the orb, but it is attracted to it all the way around. Looks like the gravity from the orb is pulling anything close to it and making it rotate and gravitate toward it. Getting close, Piccolo decides to get right up next to this anomaly and then puts his whole arm through it. And the longer his arm's in there, the longer he's starting to realize that something is off, until he finally has it. He pulls out his hand and it is on fire, and Gohan is worried that Piccolo has been injured in some way, and Piccolo turns back toward Gohan, and to Gohan's surprise, Piccolo launches his arm toward Gohan in a threatening, almost attack pattern way. Piccolo's hand encompasses Gohan's face, grabbing onto the entire thing like a basketball, and then he literally throws Gohan face first into the orb, which I'm hoping that Piccolo didn't turn evil just then or something. I'm hoping that he's trying to help Gohan for his own good. Maybe they need like a jump start to get in there. Maybe they can't just walk in there. They have to go at a certain speed, so he had to throw Gohan in there. But this just shows how much stronger Piccolo is compared to Gohan, and where Gohan's power level is at this point. Releasing Gohan into the orb, he then decides to run in himself, grabbing Gohan's supply bag and getting into the orb face first. It looks like Gohan is being followed by Piccolo, so Piccolo seems to still be on his side. At least that's the way it looks. Both Gohan and Piccolo fly through this void, and we get this like really trippy effect that is going on with the panels, because now we have them be in reverse black and white, and there's like a distortion effect on it as well, showcasing that they're going through some sort of weird anomaly, something that is not of this world. I like the trippy effect, honestly. And as they go further and further into the void, they start to gain control of their trajectory and head toward the light, finally pulling through and finding themselves in a cave. As they continue to fly toward the opening of the cave, you see here that there is a mountain range up ahead, and it looks like they have gotten through the entrance of everlasting winter. But as quickly as they get through the portal, instantaneously something feels their presence from far away, something that is meditating in a cave of their own and looks kind of like the mask that Princess Mononoke has. For whoever knows that anime, it's one of the best ones out there. Look it up, guys, if you haven't seen it yet. But it looks almost exactly like the mask that girl wore, and the person says he has returned. Don't know if he's talking about Gohan or Piccolo, but someone's been there before. And he informs a secret agent right behind him, "You know what you have to do." And they agree with pleasure, master. Gohan is visually upset here. He's yelling at Piccolo, "You bastard, what is wrong with you?" And Piccolo basically tells him what I was thinking was the case. You had neither the velocity nor the strength to go through by yourself. That is why Piccolo tested it out himself to make sure it was all good. And now they are at the opening of the land of never-ending winter. Feeling a presence in this land, they decide to go out and greet it. Seeing this mystical land with their own eyes for the first time, it is basically just a land of snowy mountains. Piccolo warns Gohan not to lose his head and to keep focused because this land could possibly be extremely dangerous, but he does feel, at least Piccolo does, that something is wrong, something is off, and maybe he was the one that used to be in this plane, and that is what the entity was talking about. Gohan cuts Piccolo's thinking short by letting him know that the capsules are fried, they are now screwed. They must find a shelter and they must do it quick. As Gohan begins to shiver and shake, this land is extremely freezing, and Gohan, he still hasn't, he's not a warrior yet, so he's basically just like a normal kid, at least with the elements. Piccolo has his first training lesson for him, and that is focus on your vital energy and flow it all through your body. That will protect you from freezing. So that's Gohan's first lesson, focus on this energy while Piccolo finds them a place to rest. I feel like Piccolo is good to come with Gohan because Gohan could not have done this on his own. He wasn't strong enough to get through the portal, he doesn't know about vital energy, and he can't sense like whatever Piccolo is sensing from this world. Gohan would be so out of the loop, it would have been a dead suicide mission for him. With just a few minutes, Gohan gets his vital control in check, and Piccolo is impressed, and it's good enough now so they can both kind of leave the area and go find shelter together. And that is all we have from Dragon Ball Raido as of today, as of right now. When there are more pages to this Dragon Ball fan manga, I will cover them, but until then, make sure you follow Dragon Ball Raido's official Twitter account for any updates, and that way if you guys see them, you can hit me up and I will cover them as long as there's enough for a video, at least 30 pages or more. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think is going to happen next, and if Piccolo was there before, what are your theories for Dragon Ball Raido? This is going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content.